needed that motivation to keep working on my recovery. You know, if I were 80 years old, I don't think I would have done this. Why bother? It was way too painful to recover. It takes time and patience and motivation and love. And I'm sorry to the doctors in this room, but I gotta tell you, they'll tell you that however you recover after 3 months or 6 months or a year is all you can get. That's not right. If you're willing to keep working on it, your brain keeps on learning if you're willing to do it. Well, many people have called, and because now of my background in Asia and in Europe, even people from there. In fact, last week I got a call from somebody in Bangkok to talk to me about what I did to recover from this brain attack. So I'm hoping to give you this information to you tonight, but I also know from my research that on how people think and behave that you might do it differently, and your approach will be different. Here's what I did. First of all, I have a fabulous family. So I want to say to those of you here who have a stroke victim in your family, people really need to give you the credit because you're the one who's having to deal with all the stuff. I met and still regularly meet with my doctors to monitor my medicine and take their pills. I don't like it, but I do. I went to the speech therapist, and occasionally I still check in with her. I continue regular, you heard it tonight, regular physical exercise as it creates new neurons in the hippocampus, and it aids in my learning and memory. Sleep and rest is incredibly important. 20 to 25% of our energy goes to the brain. I found acupuncture to be incredibly helpful, and I went to the acupuncturist, that guy, twice a week for at least a year. I continue to remodel my brain, and when a new learning occurs, I practice it each day until I've got it, and it usually takes me 21 days. Work has been the most important too. I need an excuse to get out of bed every day. And then there's love. The love from my family and friends. There are a lot of people in this audience who were there for me. The reason I wanted to come tonight, because I figured a lot of you would be here. And I want to thank you for your support, your notes, your phone calls, your emails, and your gifts. I couldn't read them, and I had a really hard time talking to you whenever you called, but you were still patient. You were with me every step of the way. And I never could write those thank you notes, but you need to know in my heart it meant a lot. And what I want to say to the rest of you is, when you know, it's kind of the normal thing, and I know in Nebraska we've all been taught this, to sort of send a note off or send a card, and you kind of think you're just doing a nice thing. I can't even tell you what that does to the person who is recovering. And finally, prayer. I felt that spirit, and I still do. This summer, I was at a party, and I met two women I'd never met before, and they came up to me and they said, "Oh, we're so happy to meet you. You know, we heard that you'd had this stroke, and we put your name on our church prayer list. A group of Omaha people were on a business trip when I was in the hospital. We were in Beijing, and they were taking a side trip to the Great Wall when someone received an email on their BlackBerry about my stroke. I mean, isn't technology just amazing? And so these people who knew me, these are from my influence and focus crowd part of ICANN, they climbed to the top of the Great Wall and huddled in this place and sent me a prayer. Later, I understood that when that prayer was sent, that was exactly the moment I learned to be able to say all the numbers on the clock. Oh, a stroke of luck? You bet. I now know what it is like to learn all over again. I see the world differently, and I plan to make a difference that wasn't possible before. Thank you.